this is what we have been oriented with. Okay, how project oriented professional training is to be imparted. Actually, there are two issues in this. Why we are giving so much emphasis on oriented professional training these days? It's not that education is something new now. It was earlier also, but now there is a lot of emphasis on projects, internships, and other things there. Maybe this is the part which we'll discuss under our new education policy, which is there, where exactly we are to take our students there. And another part is, okay, how exactly this project oriented professional training is to be given. Okay, what exactly are we aiming at? Is it we are aiming at making everyone to do the project, or we want a leaders? What sort of quality should be there in the leaders who are to do this project, and what are the various mechanisms through which projects are being handled, and how we can impart this sort of training to the students there. This is our total orientation of this particular talk there. Now, if I look at our new education policy, which was there, okay, there is a major structural changes which has happened in our education system. I hope all of you know this in new education policy. Now, our more emphasis is upon skill based, and we want people to be digital savvy. This is what we are to do as far as the new education policy is concerned. And we want our student to be creative, we want our student to be critical thinker, we want our student to be decision makers there. Now it's not that we are not having them earlier, but there is a lot of emphasis which is there on creativity, critical thinking, and the decision making, which are the three pillars of project work there. Now, maybe some of you might be giving the project to the students presently also. So, what exactly we expect from them? Can they work together? That's what we say. Because let's say our earlier education system, which was there, it was a lecture oriented, where teacher will come, talk, and student will listen to him. That will be there for a 40 hours, 50-hour session there. Then maybe there are some labs there through where we will give a practical based on a particular course there. All right. This is what we used to do. Now, our because that was a very fixed sort of a learning there. Let's say you imagine 10 practicals for a particular course and let them do it. But his creativity, his critical thinking, and his decision making power was not there. So that is what we are to make. So this is what some of the highlights of the policy includes. We would like to focus upon the vocational studies. Now, in case I would like to give him a skill, till the time I take him to some project, take him to some real-time use case there, he will not be able to have this vocational study there. Then there is a lot of emphasis on the digital and the online learning. Now, these days, there are a lot of digital platform on which you can do this project. I think AIC, those of you who are dealing with the AICT, they have come out with a lot of this digital and the online learning there, where digital infrastructure is there, digital contents are there. Based on this, I can just do some project work there. Then another approach which is emerging very fast is multidisciplinary. Now, can I think of? Because in the earlier days, if there is an electrical engineer, he will be doing the electrical engineer work. But now we have got a multidisciplinary approach where the students will be working in various other areas there. And how exactly they can learn through the project work only. So that's what, in nutshell, what we say is, NEP, there is a strong focus upon the experimental learning. How experimental learning can be there if we have got some sort of a project-based learning which he has to have during his course there. So this is maybe I'm having, I thought I'll discuss with you some aspect of this. new education policy also. Now, the major emphasis is there on the reduction in the curriculum. What we want is let the students learn only core essential, because let's say if I talk about mechanical engineering, there are a lot of courses which are there in the mechanical engineering there. Now let's say what I want is let them learn only core. Okay. What we do is we reduce the number of courses, but we identify these are the core courses which has to be there. And then we have to think about how exactly that can lead them to critical thinking there. Okay, you try to discover, you try to discuss, you try to make it analysis based teaching and learning method for the holistic education there. Then in case our core is lower, interactive classes will be there. It's not that he has to depend upon the textbooks only. Can he know some of the interactive way through which he can learn? Then another is experimental learning. Experimental learning is the one where there is a lot of emphasis upon how exactly we can make a creative collaboration, exploratory activities in classroom for the experimental learning and the deep student. So our major emphasis is upon can we think about reducing the curriculum, because this is a critical change which has happened in our education policy. This is what MHRD has defined this. Now, let's say in case I give you a small assignment, you identify what are the core essential courses which you feel should be taught to the students. I don't say there will be 20 or 30 odd courses which are there in a diploma or a degree, but can you all of you identify 5 core courses which are taught to the students from your branch there, right? Just take 2 minutes. Give me this particular aspect there. Maybe you can use your chat window to give me this information. Given the choice, I would like only 5 core courses from your basic engineering branch has to be taught. What will be those 5 courses which will be there? All of you write your name of the branch and send it through me to this particular window there. Yes, given a branch, whichever branch is yours, write in your chat window 5 essential courses which you feel are the essential for your branch to be taught to the students there. This is the first assignment you try to do. Just send me this information. Unable to give answer as I'm engaged in OMC. What is the OMCA department? No, office management and computer application is also a department where there must be some courses there. Can you identify 5 courses which are to be taught to the students? Not engineering, but it can be the computer applications, because basically what we are trying to do is how exactly code can be reduced in this sort of a scenario there. In office management and computer application, can you identify 5 courses? Rajesh, can you identify 5 courses because you are written your branch name?
Can I tell, sir?
Yes.
First one is, sir, microwave and radar.
You can just type out.
Right down. Microwave and radar, then optical network and satellite communication.
Uh,
Then embedded system.
okay, Parul could identify 1 course digital marketing. Vivek could identify core chemical. He's from chemical engineering, but he says in IoT and TQM are the 2 courses which has been taught. Vivek, you tell me in chemical engineering how IoT will be a core for you.
Sir, we are good morning, sir.
Good mornings.
Actually, sir, we are teaching in a elective.
No, I'm not looking at elective. Let's say you're from chemical engineering.
Yes, sir.
In chemical engineering, what are the 5 core courses which can be there, in your opinion? because
Okay,
these
okay,
days we
okay.
talk a lot about reducing the number of core courses. Now, in case we have to reduce the number of core courses, in your opinion, what are the five core courses which should be there?
Okay, okay, sir.
Yes, Rajesh, good. You says microwave and radar, mobile and wireless communication, embedded system, optical network communication. Good.
Thank you, sir.
Anil Reval is from applied science. Obviously, he is not from a branch. They are supporting others. So, in your opinion, what can be the courses which has to be taught to all the branches of engineering? In your opinion, Anil? Yes, we could come out with chemical engineering, chemical reaction engineering, mass transfer, heat transfer, fluid mechanics. That's good. That's how we say, in case we have to reduce the, because our idea of doing this assignment was, in case you're being told, okay, there will be only 6 or 7 or 10 core courses which will be there in your engineering branch as compared to 20. What are those which in your opinion are the essentials? Because these days we have to give a lot of emphasis upon the project work. So from where the time will come, in case we reduce the this particular course is there, so then it will be there. Maybe we could get from electronics, we could get from chemical engineering. A Then Rajesh is giving engineering, drawing, manufacturing processes, thermal engineering, machine design, automobile engineering. It's a Dr. Sharda from Ahmedabad. Okay, mechanical engineering. Right, fine, fine. Dr. Sharda, good. Because a time is coming when you have to answer these things. Okay, how I can reduce the core of a particular branch there. Then Abhishek says mechanics, design, fluid, CAD CAM, and robotics. Yes, good Abhishek. You could identify okay, in case I teach student CAD CAM, I teach robotics there. I can make them an employee in a particular skill there. In case he learn CAD CAM, he learns robotics, good skill through which he can do the wonders as far as the systems are concerned. Yes, our basic idea is how exactly core can be reduced and it can be converted to a experiment learning. What is exactly experiment learning is a project based learning there. Now, another aspect of this new education policy is it has to be socially meaningful. Because let's say you teach somebody 20 odd courses, he goes to the industry, they are of no relevance to him. What should he do? Then we have compartmentalized our education. Because if you look at somebody who's employed by industry, he needs some knowledge of economics, he needs finance, he needs commerce, he needs interpersonal skill, and little bit of a engineering branch there. That's what we say. There shouldn't be any compartment because this is what he has to do in a projects. Okay, there is no separation between arts and science, curriculum and extracurricular activities, and vocational and the academic stream. The most important is vocational and the academic stream there, because earlier time we kept on recognizing vocational different from academics there. So this is what we have to build this sort of a competency so that once he goes to industry to do some project work, he should be able to do this. So that's what we have to think about this projects. We have to reimagine okay, how exactly we can offer it to the students in the students there. So in journal, what we say is in the 21st century, we want to build up a well-defined individual having ethics of social engagement, soft skill, and the rigors. So how exactly soft skill can be built up in to a student? Till the time he doesn't work in a team, soft skill will not be there. Till the how can I teach the leadership? Till the time he works amongst five peer group people, he can't think of this sort of a soft skill there. maybe some internships, because these days there is a lot of emphasis, whether it's a school, college, or university, there is a lot of emphasis upon the internships there. Obviously, we need professional development of the teachers also for this. So our major emphasis on how exactly this vocational education can be integrated with the academic learning. Your vocational education is skill based only, whereas academic is your knowledge based only. So how exactly this can be integrated in a school and higher education institute in a phased manner? Maybe this is how your I'm not getting into this multidisciplinary education there, but this is how this education has to be there, where there is a lot of option through which he can do the project work there. So what sort of a role of a leader is there? Now let's say you what we wanted to make is we would like to make the students as the leaders, because this is one thing which has to be there in the projects. Okay, how exactly I can make leaders out of the project work there. Now, what a leader has to be there is, okay, how exactly these goals to be achieved. And leadership also provides vision, inspirational, and rise above the usual. Because obviously, in case you're working in a group, then you have to think about how exactly you can rise above the usual and try to make everyone to work there. And once we say how to manage a project, there is no right way to manage. No one right way to manage. There are multiple ways to manage a project work. Now, till the time he doesn't do this project, all these things will not come to him. So, how exactly this project has to be done? As I was telling you, कि AICT has got a portal where there are a lot of projects which are there. Then there are every company is coming out with a project. So idea is, okay, you have to be visionary, inspirational, and rise above the usual to do a particular project over there. So this is what we say is the leadership role. In any project, it can be authoritarian, it can be consultative, it can be democratic participation. Because this is what has to be built up once he does a project there. He can be authoritarian. This is what where we feel miserably. Okay, everyone would like to solve the problem alone and dictate decision. I'm not saying this is wrong. This is one of the ways through which we are moving from this authoritarian to consultative to democratic participation. Now, in case what sort of problems are there? In case because this is what our teaching was earlier. Okay, it was authoritarian. Teacher says something, dictates, and student follows. So is it leading us to develop this critical thinking? No. Is it leading us to do participative learning? No. So once all these things we are not able to do, then why should we do it? Then came the consultative. This is another way we develop the leaders. They can be the one who discusses the problems and try to make a solution make a decision out of this. Then a consultative, they try to make some decision, they try to force some decision, but yes, their problems were being discussed. Whereas in case of authoritative, problems are not discussed, they're thought in the isolation, and whatever other decisions they are being dictated. Now we have from this autocratic to consultative we have moved. Okay, we do discuss our problems, but make the decision ourselves. Now we are moving to democratic participate, where there is one chairman there. He agrees there is a problem there and creates a consensus for the solution of the problem. So this is what critical thinking or a leadership which we would like to develop. How exactly this thing can be developed? Can this thing be developed in a classroom? No, because classroom is a one-way teaching only, where teacher teaches and student learns only. Can it be taught in a lab? Because there also what we do is we just give him a 10 problems, give him a manual, let him take the readings. But it is the project where all these things can be done over there. He agrees to the problems, try to find a consensus there. This is what industry is looking for from the academic institutes. Okay, let them do some internship. They work with the people around on the real time problem, try to find out a solution, present his solution, and then he's able to develop some consensus there. This is where we have to be it politics, be it project development. Leadership role has got its own relevance there, because why I'm emphasizing upon this is because this is what we have to build it in our students. How exactly this can be built up? In case we can build up a role where he does something, consult something. Because if you look at our classroom, there is no discussions there. Teacher only teaches. Discussion is there. Once he goes to the lab, there three students try to do some one experiment there. Now we say we have to do some multidisciplinary projects there. Where some part of economics, some part of engineering, some part of management are involved there. So this can be done in case there is a heterogeneity in the teams, and they discuss the problem, agrees for a solution, and create a consensus out of that only. So what sort of in case you are giving a project to the students, we want his leadership role to be developed over there. Now, interpersonal, he has to go for interpersonal thing, informational roles, decision roles. These are the three roles where if we want a leader to be made. He can be figurehead, he can be leader, he is the one who listening between them. He can be the one who monitor. He becomes the disseminator, he become the spokesperson, he become entrepreneur, he could become the resource allocator, he become the disturbance allocator, and he become the negotiator. Now you imagine, maybe I like to have a feedback from one or two of you. Can this sort of a leadership role be developed by sitting in the classes? Yes, somebody can unmute and give his feedback upon this leadership role. Yes,
Hello.
Rajesh.
Sir, leadership quality cannot be developed by sitting in the classroom itself.
Right, that's good. That's a good learning, I would say. Yes,
We have to arrange some external events outside the campus.
right. Some project work has to be there.
Yes.
That's good, Rajesh. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, somebody else who can just tell us the significance of this project work.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, Vivek.
Sir, actually, project work help to apply the theoretical knowledge to a practical application.
That's very interesting. Whatever theoretical he's learned, he has to apply practically also. He learns in that particular process there. Now, once my idea is once you make a group of 5 or 6 students, out of them one emerges as the leader there. So this is what is the important. That's what we were trying to tell you about. Maybe Rajesh want to say something.
Excuse me, sir. I want to add one more thing.
Sure.
In our institute, GP Ahmednagar, in our electronics department, we have formed one association that is called Association of Students of Electronics and Telecommunication. And through that association, we form one body of students of 10 to 15 students and assign one student as a chairman. And under his leadership, we arrange different activities. So in that way, we promote students to develop their leadership skills.
Yes, sir, that's also a project only. That's very interesting. Okay, you make a group of 10, 15 students, built up a leader in that, and he has to do this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So students arrange very nicely. Recently, they have arranged a very nice program of Teachers Day, sir.
Right. Thank you. So this is what I wanted to bring you at. Okay, in this particular process, what let's say, as Rajesh says, there are 15 students to whom they make a group for an activity. Because activity, it's also a project only. Now, in case there is some activity where there, let's say, my activity is organizing a conference, then it acts as a project there, where there will be 15 odd students, as he says, there will be 15 odd students who will work, and out of them, one will be a leader. So, what is his roles there? Maybe he's a leader, he's listening. He's listening about these 15 students there. Then he monitor them. Let's say what exactly he does there as a leadership role. He assigns the work. He disseminate. Then, in case Rajesh goes there, he asks what is happening in the project or what is happening in the activity. He becomes a spokesperson also. He tells him, okay, these are the things which are happening there. And then he becomes the decision rules also. Okay, he's a resource allocator. Let's say in case some project, somebody is working, he needs some resources. He's got a fixed amount of resources. He allocate that resources to those people there. And he become a negotiator there. So all these are roles which he gets once he does some project over there. Now, what sort of qualities a leader has to have? Okay, he should know the professional knowledge. That means, in case he will take the example what Rajesh has given, okay, for a society, they are performing the activity which is a project work for them. Now, what sort of professional knowledge is there? Let's say it's an electronic society. They are trying to have some event which is related to electronics only. That means they have to know the professional knowledge about that only. Then organization know how exactly this will be organized, how many institute they will be calling, who are the ones who will be speaking. Then ability to grasp a situation. Can I grasp a situation? Then ability to make a decision. Is my leader there to make a decision over there? Or in case there is some change which has to be done. Let's say as a policy making, they decided this will be done. Rajesh comes, he says, no, please make these changes. Can he make those changes? Can he manage those changes there? So is he creative? What sort of mental flexibility he's got? Is he learning from his experience? Let's say Rajesh, with those 15 students, organized an event. That's a project. Once he has organized it, there is some experiences out of this. There are some mistakes out of it. There are some learnings out of it. Can it be built up there? Can it be give him mental flexibility in that? Then he has to be proactive. Then he has to have moral courage, because this is important these days. Because these days we talk a lot about ethical and unethical practices. Now, has he got this moral courage to say this is unethical? Maybe his social skill, how, because obviously he is to deal with a lot of social media also. How exactly the social skill will be there in this particular case there? And then obviously his self knowledge, what exactly his knowledge he's got in that particular aspect there. Now, then what are the variables he's got which he has to handle as a leader? His resources, time, and the function. Because we say it's a triangle. Okay, how exactly we have to fix these three variables: a resource, time, and a function. It can't be in, let's say, Rajesh says this function needs to be organized within 15 days. That means this particular time is 15 days only for him to organize, and the resources, what sort of resources has been given to him. Then based on that only, these are the variables which are there. He has to perform.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
Sir, when any event has to be organized, that leader forms the different committees. He takes the help from other students. Some work in refreshment committee, some work in welcome committee, and in that way, other students are also given to show their organizing and leadership skills.
yes, that's great, Rajesh. Okay, in case you make one leader, then he tries to build up his team, because this is what we say is the team building. Okay, there are some other sub leaders there. Under that, there are sub leaders there. This is how resources are to be allocated, and this is we define the functionality of each one of them. That's a good. So all these are nothing but variables in your case there. So this is what we say is the maybe this is more towards a development cycle there. Okay, this is a graph of effort and the specification analysis, build, test, and the maintain. Be it any project, let's say in case even if we see the Rajesh work only, okay, they are organizing some event, they have to analyze and they have to build, then they have to test. Because these days we usually get confused कि only project work are in the industries. Project works are also there in your own organization there, where you try to develop something out of this in the students. कि time and effort graphs are there. कि how much time, how much effort is required for maybe Rajesh says we are organizing a conference. That's the specifications. Analysis is what is to be done in that. Then built is how exactly this will be done. As he says, you they'll make committee, they will do this, they will do this. So all these things, analysis is the smart time which is there. Building is the most effort there, and then you test. If I say I'll be having 20 speakers there, there will be 3 sessions which will be organized. I have to test whether my infrastructure will support it or not. Then I have to maintain that. Maybe if my conference or a workshop is for 3 days, I had to maintain this particular thing for the next 3 days there. Now, same is true with the project. Why I'm relating with the activity, because it's not that they have to go out and do all these things in an industry. These sort of things can be done in the institute also. So this is what we say: specify, analyze, build, test, and maintain. This is the under time which we do, and this is the effort which is required over there. Maybe very small effort for some of these things. There is very large effort for other things there. And corresponding to this, you need teams. If it is a small project, there may be only one fellow who will be doing everything. But if it is a larger project, there will be 20 odd people who will be doing it. I have to think about who will lead this particular aspect there. Now, then we say adoption. How exactly every project is to be adopted there? Innovate, early adoption, early majority, late majority, laggards. If I give somebody an idea, innovator gives an idea, early adopters are very few. Then most of them are the early majority there. And then we have got a late majority there. And there we have got a laggards. A early adapter, because if there is some, because obviously once you do some project, there is some innovation which you will be doing there. Maybe is something which can be adopted very early. We call them as an early adopter. This is a study there. In case there are 2.5 innovators there, early adapters are 13.5. Early majority, earlier people who will have this 34%, late majority, and laggards. This is what we say is a technical utility, because this is more towards computer. because computer technology, if it comes, it remains for 3 to 5 years only. Afterward, there is new technology which comes. Now, earlier time we have got a programming which was the major skill there. Now, then came the non-programming things there. Now we have got a AI there. Now, there were people who adopted this process languages very early. They could rise, but there were a few who didn't learn it. They would become the laggards. Same is true. Now, once one technology goes, other comes there. So this is what has to be done in this particular case there. Now, how a project is being made, maybe we got approaches are there. We say it's a top-down approach, or it's a bottom-up approach, or it's a rapid prototyping or model through. So these are the four approaches which are there for making a project over there. Top-down is, okay, you start from the top, then you try to build it and come to the lower detailing there. Just like Rajesh gave us the example, okay, they make a team of 15 and then those 15 team work on a project there. So this is a top-down approach. Okay, then what they might be doing is those 15 people, they think what is the work which has to be done under each one of them. That is the one level of going down. Then further they keep on going down. This is what we see the waterfall decomposition there. And bottom up is 15 people try to build up there. That's what we see the meta machines. Okay, built up there and come to the top over there. Then there is a rapid prototyping also. You make a prototype and then we refine it and build it out for the whole community there. Let's say just like in case, maybe I can give you the example of a Chandigarh. What they say is 24/7 water supply. They will be giving for two sector initially. That's what they prototype. They will try to study this, what sort of problem they face, refine it, and then give it to the whole of the city there. So that is what we say the successive refinements which are there. This is the industry. This is what is being followed in the industry these days. Okay, you go for the prototyping. And model through is you try to go through the way things are coming up there. So these are the various approaches which are there as far as the project work is concerned. Now, then there is a one spiral methodology which is there. What we say is we keep on prototyping, we keep on doing its risk analysis, and it keeps on moving from the spiral there. Okay, you make a prototype one, do your risk analysis, refine it, go with the development, and keep on making all the development over there. Maybe this is what we say the spiral model of project development. You can just have a look at this. I hope this is the spiral model which we do in our all the projects there. Now then, corresponding to each of the phase of the project, there is some deliverables there. Okay, that means let's say in case my phase is emphasizing. What is the deliverable there? What is the vision? What is the scope there? What is the risk assessment there? What is the project structure which will be there? Then once we come to the planning, we come what sort of functional specifications are there and risk assessment are there. Maybe if you look at for each of the deliverables, there is risk factor there. How much successful will be there in this particular project there? This is what we try to analyze in this particular thing, and we try to work on a project schedule. Okay, while plan, we just define, okay, this is my milestones, and this milestone I'll be doing in this particular time period there. So this is the planning phase as far as this delivery is concerned. Then we got developing. Now, actually, once I plan, then I have to build that How can I build? Once I have frozen its functional specification. Okay, what's the functionality I'm expecting? Then my risk management plan. Okay, there will be risk which while planning I analyze the risk. While developing, I had to mitigate those risks there. How exactly this management plan can be there, and maybe your source code, maybe your executables. Then how do you test it? Because these days, for every project, there is a test cases which are there. Now, in the earlier time, everything was being done by the same team. Now, what is being happening is we make different teams. One is a planning team, maybe one is an emphasizing team, other is a planning team, there is a development team, then testing team there. Because this testing in a projects, it has become automatic also, it has become a speculative also. Okay, I test my whole system once it has been made over there. Then debug and rework. We have to stabilize that, because once any project is made, we have to think about how when exactly we are going to release this particular project there. Then what sort of release notes are there? What sort of precautions are there? What sort of performance support elements are there? Which can say, okay, this is my successful release, which is there. Maybe this is what the student will learn from the industry only. Okay, if in case they go to industry, they take up some project, live projects there, and then all these things will be learned by him only. Whereas the same thing I can't teach in a class, because we usually say is a use case. Now these days there are so many terminology which has come up for the project. It's a use case which is there, or POC which is there. Because these days, instead of prototyping, we just go for a proof of a concept. I prove something, then I tell them this is what the benefit it will give you. In case you agree, you can go for the development of this particular project there. So this is what he has to learn: emphasizing, planning, develop, and stabilizing there. And in that, these are some of the deliverables there. So why am I emphasizing more upon this? Because this is most important activities, deliverables. If I do a project, what will it deliver us? Okay, let's say if I plan something, it's not that there is actual something will come out of it. No, it's just a planning which is being done in that particular case there. Now, how do you make this? We just go for the PERT and the Gantt charts there. Maybe there are the different tools which has come up there. Uh, Now, what is a PERT and a Gantt charts? There's a visual representation of the project. How exactly my project milestones are there. Maybe Microsoft project is one of the tools which is there. There's so many tools which has come up now. Idea is, can I represent the project in that particular format there? Let's say this is a very good example. Getting up in the morning. This is also a project for me. Yes, this is in case alarm rings, duration is 0. Wake up. I get up at within 3 or 4 minutes. I get up out of the bed. 5 minutes. Wash. 5 minutes. Get dressed. 5 minutes. Put kettle on to wait for kettle to boil. 5. Put toast on. Wait for toast. Make coffee. Butter toast. Eat. Leave for the lectures. So maybe if I look at my project, this can be my project. Project is coming in the morning from my office to my workplace. Maybe these, if I'm more structured, I can think about this way. If I'm unstructured, maybe once alarm is there, I don't wake up. Those are risks which we say. Because let's say somebody plan up this. Okay, maybe I ask the others, what sort of risks are there in case this is the plan, this structural planning which is there. But what sort of risks are there? Yes. Because my project is to come out of the bed and start working in my going to the office and work, like give the lectures. What sort of risks are there in this? Yes. I hope someone can answer this.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, in our profession, we come across different types of students. So we should develop the skills to handle all types of students, and we should be able to satisfy all. We should solve their problems. Some weak students are there, so we should not become angry with them. We have to help them. Like that, these problems can be solved. Sir, what I feel.
Yes. One risk is there are different type of people which are there. In case I give to everyone in the institute, half of them will not turn up there. It's a good idea. Okay, how exactly the risk factor which are involved? Anyone else which are there? Okay, in case I make it a structured one, SOC for everyone, this may not work. Yes.
Sir, it is not possible to change the plan. Suppose we fix some operations uh, in starting, and after completion or after development, if we want to change some functionalities, then it is a risk.
Yes, you're very right in saying in case my planning is poor. Let's say I planned, but the planning was poor, my development is there. You're very right, you can't change it. So that's a risk. So that means I have to put up a lot of efforts as far as the planning is concerned. If I plan well, I kept the minutest detail there, then this sort of things will not arise there. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, then this is what we say is a PERT chart. Let's say these are activities which are there. There may be some activities which are parallel, which are activities which are critical there. So then we make a PERT chart of this. We get out of bed, wash, dress, then put kettle. All this are nothing but if I look at red, these are all the critical activities which are there, which and there are parallel activities which we have got in this particular process there, and we call it as a PERT chart. I could have drawn a PERT chart for a project also, but specifically I didn't do it because I said let me take a generic problem which everyone understand, and then I try to draw this PERT chart. Okay, from this time to this time, I'll do this particular activity there. Then we try to have critical path there. Which is the critical path in this? What is compute earliest and the latest start and the finish for each task? That means what is the earliest I can start a task? What is the latest I can start the task to finish for each of the tasks there? Maybe difference is what we say is the slack variable. We say is the slack variable is there, and the critical path joins the task for which there is no slack there, and we say any delay in task on the critical path affects the whole project. Let's say if I go back to this, critical path is my get dressed. If I don't dress myself, all my activities will go haywire. So that's what we say, okay, any delay in the task on the critical path affects the whole project as it is. Now this is Gantt chart. Okay, there may be this is the way we show, okay, there may be some activities which are a parallel, and there may be some activity which are serial in this sort of a nature there. Maybe this is another example for a project there. This can be monthly, this can be weekly chart. You start phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 and end there. Maybe this is a broader PERT chart which is there. Maybe this is what we see the complexities: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. How exactly each of these phase has to perform in this sort of a situation there, that has to be seen. So my idea of defining all this thing is, in whole of the charts, what are the parallel activities, what are the serial activities, what is the critical path in this whole thing, we have to identify that for a project there. Maybe this is the screenshot of a project as a Microsoft tool. I hope some of you might have used this micro. How many of you use this Microsoft tool? Yes. Okay, this is what we have got as a tool there. Maybe if you're not used it, try to use this tool. This is a very interesting tool which you can use for your project work there, how to plan up the project. This is what start phase one, phase two, phase three, how exactly this thing can be done in this sort of a scenario there. Yeah, this is how it look like. Then we next level we say the leveling. Adjust tasks to match the resources available. Whatever resources are available, you adjust your task accordingly there. There will be some tasks which are delayed within the slack without affecting the project there. Maybe there may be independent tasks which are there, which we say is a slack, but it may not affect your overall project there. So each one of them has got its own costing as far as these systems are concerned. Maybe this is a larger example of a per CPM chart which we have to make. So in this case, we just write the activity number and give the activity name over there. So this is what I thought was, I'll give you a project, why, how exactly this project is to be done, and then what are the tools through which they can be automated over there. Then we are to have the estimation. Okay, what sort of estimations are there? We say how many days this project will call there, what is the cost, how will I decompose them, or how many are a planning, which can be go haywire also. All these are nothing but estimation technique which we have to think about for any of the projects there. Now these are some of the rules of thumb as far as software projects are concerned. One is cost of prototype, three is cost of turning prototype into the product, 10 is the cost of sales and the marketing. Now this is what is the thumb rule. 1:3:10. In case I have to make it a prototype, it will cost me 1 rupee. But in case 1 unit cost, time, energy is what we say, and 10 is the cost of sales and the marketing there. So usually we say, and if I make a product, the cost of that will be determined by the sales there. Usually this is again a rule. Project is 90% complete 90% of the time. If you ask someone how much work is completed, he says 90%. And 90% of the time he'll say the same thing, and then project will not be complete there. Then another rule which we have got is 80% rule. If I got a 10 resources, always use only 8 out of them. So this is what we say rule of the thumb, which were being used for software project. The same are there for the mechanical project. The same are there for the electrical project there. Maybe this is what we say is the cynic project stages. There may be initially there will be a lot of enthusiasm. Disillusionment is there. Panic is there. Innocent is there, praise of the bystanders are there. So these are some of the stages of the project which a student has to learn. In case there is a panic in the project, your leader, there is a panic among your team, kam hoi nahi raha. How to handle that situation? In case there is enthusiasm there. So all these are nothing but some of the project stages which are there. So this is what I thought I'll discuss with you. Thank you very much.